Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play Slither by Velvet Revolver. So we got some riffs that move around quite a bit here. We're in drop D tuning. We're not tuned down a half step though, so it's kind of drop D standard, you know. Usually Slash tunes down a half step. In this case, standard tune guitar, then take the low E and drop it down to a D. Alright, and then we'll be able to get into this here. We're going to start here with the intro, which is based around just a few chords, and he uses these volume swells, kind of an atmospheric sound and stuff, which I obviously don't have on my guitar. So basically all you're going to be doing is a D chord to a C, then to a G chord, but instead of a standard G chord, take out the 6th string, so you just have the B in the bass here, the 5th string in the bass, and then back to that D. So we just have that kind of a like atmospheric tone he's using. Alright, and then they kick in some distortion, and he kind of chugs along with this on the low D string, so he kind of does this effect. Alright, so that's what's going on there in the intro. And then we have this main riff, which sounds like this. Alright, so we're going to start with just a slide up and down the 6th string there. The bottom 3 strings open, and then you're going to play 3, 4, just all these, you know, 1-finger power chords here. 3 to 4, then the open strings again. And then we're going to slide from 6 to 7. Every time he plays this 6 to 7 one, he's always sliding it. Then the open strings again, and then the 10th fret power chord. Then back to the 6 to 7 slide. Then the 5th fret. Open strings again, and then 3, 4. Sometimes he's hammering this one on, sometimes he's sliding it, and sometimes he picks it. He does a lot of variations of how he's kind of playing these power chords. He may, when they're just a half step apart, he may hammer to it, bend to it, or when he's doing the quieter verse section where he's kind of really just the very last note, he'll kind of accentuate just a hammer on from 3 to 4. So we have this whole riff. Now over the 4th time I'm playing that riff, Slash comes up here and plays this. Alright, so we do an extended version of that at the very end of the song, so we'll get to there soon. But first we're going to just check out what's happening after this very beginning of the song. We're going to start at the 12th fret on the D, then 10, 11 on the G, then back to the 12 on the D, then 9, 10 on the B, 12 on the D, to 13 on the B. Alright, now back to the 12, and do that 9, 10 again. So we have this so far. Then back to that 12 on the D, over to 12 on the G, back to the 12 on the D, and then 10 on the G. All together. Alright, so the verse is basically that main rhythm that we started in the intro with, just really heavily muted. And that sometimes he's just kind of messing around, it's all based around those same frets. Sometimes it's a single string one, and he's trying to put a little pinch harmonics and wah pedal stuff on it. So it's just an effect. It's the same thing pretty much as the main riff there. All right, so we do that for a while, then we make it to the chorus. Now the chorus has two parts. The backing part, which sounds like this. Alright, so those four chords are pretty similar to the chords we did at the very beginning in the intro, but it's just a D chord. Not really hitting that top note though, so just kind of a big D power chord. Then a power chord at the 3rd fret on the A string. And that G chord with the B and the bass again. And then back to the D. So over there's a counter line that changes up a little bit. Starts very similar to the main riff, and it happens just on the high D string. But then there's some variations in it. So let me play through it real quick. Alright, so we basically have 4 times through that riff. It's all just on the open, the high D string there. So the first one is the exact same frets as the intro. So it's still the same, open, 3, 4, open, 6, 7, open, 10, open, 6, 7, open, 5, open, 3, 4. So same thing there. So that's the first time through. The 4th time through is going to be exactly like that as well. It's the 2nd and 3rd ones that are a little bit different. So the 2nd time of playing it through are going to be open 4, 5, open 5, 7, open 10, back to open 5, 7, open 5, open 4, 5. So this all together. Alright, so that's the 2nd time through. The 3rd time through is 0, open 4, 5, open 7, 9, open 10, open 7, 9, open 7, open 5, 4. I'll play through that again. And then once again, the 4th time through is just like the first. Let me play through that section real quick so you can just play. I'll play through all 4 parts. Alright, so we go through that, that's the main chorus, and then it goes back into the same riffs, the same main riff and chorus riff again. Alright, so at the end we go through the solo, which we'll be looking at in another lesson. At the end though, we have that lick that we did at the beginning. We have kind of an extended version of it. Alright, so this happens at the very end of the song, so let me play through it real quick. Here we go. Alright, so it's very similar here. Starting again, we keep going back to the 12th fret on the D again. 12 on the D. It's the same lick as before. But instead of this ending, it goes, rolls that 12 back to here, and goes 10, 11. So it's basically, instead of going, it goes, just don't hold that 10, just go 10, 11. So we have this. Alright, repeat that again. Oh, sorry. So you do it 3 times there, and then we have this ending one. So that is 12th on the D again, 13, 15 on the B, 12 again on the D, and then 12, 13 on the B. Then the 12 on the D, and then 10 on the B. Back to the 12 on the D, then that 9, 10 on the B. That same ending, and then just ended on that 12. Kind of tie your hands in knots a little bit at first, but you know, as soon as you get the pattern down, it's pretty easy. And that ending, you just got to kind of memorize it. All right, so that's a bit off for the riffs here. We're going to take a look at that solo in another lesson, so make sure you check that one out too. I'll see you again for GuitarLessons365.com. Bye-bye.